My name is Misty, and I really like to be creative. I like gaming, art, anime, and just listening to music. I would say most of my upbringing was centered around the church. Most of my friends and my parents' friends were in one way or another involved with the church, so it was very important for my family that I grew up with those values. Things really started to change for me in high school. It's that time when everyone starts dating, and I realized that I just wasn't interested in that. There was this one time I was hanging out with one of my friends, and I just saw at her differently. It's hard to explain, but in that moment, I wanted to be more than just her friend. It felt really new and honestly really terrifying because I was taught that men and women were supposed to be together and that anything else was just wrong. Actually, that it was a sin. And the last thing that I wanted to do was to commit a sin. There was no way that I could tell my parents because, well, they would hate me, so I started to hate myself first. I I cut myself for the first time with a razor in the bathroom. In the beginning, they were little cuts on my leg, then they got deeper. In a way, it gave me a release to the feelings I was having, but it was reaching the point where I would cut every day. One day, my friend noticed.
Misty and I have been friends since middle school. We would watch shows together and send each other new music we like. Misty is such a good listener, and she's really good at drawing. I noticed something changed about her and just kind of assumed that, like a lot of people, she's just going through stuff. I think when you're in high school, there's so many things happening all at once. It's pretty normal for friends to be going through things. It was a super hot day outside, and Missy and I were hanging out at the park, and I noticed some marks on her legs. That's when I realized it wasn't just a friend going through it, but it was something serious. At first, I was afraid to ask her about it, but if she's hurting herself, maybe she just needs someone to listen. So I asked, "Hey, Misty, what's that about?"
When Jazz asked, I was so embarrassed, but I don't know. I guess I was ready to start talking about it then. I said, "I think I like girls." It was the first time I'd said it out loud to anyone, and it felt freeing almost. Like this big secret was finally out, and it was terrifying, but I just couldn't keep it in.
I just sat and listened to her. Since we've been friends for a long time, I know how her parents are, and I know their viewpoints about the LGBT community. She just seemed so nervous. So I just sat and listened, and she let it all out. I let her know that I was worried about her cutting herself, but at the same time, I don't judge her either. I let her know that I was sorry that she felt so alone with her thoughts. I told her that there are other people with no ties to the church or her parents that she could talk to and it be kept secret. And that there are people who live their truth in the world. And maybe, eventually, she won't want to hide those parts of her either. But for now, her secret was safe with me.
After that talk with Jazz, I decided to look up some places that I could call and talk about my feelings, both about liking girls and about hating that part of myself. Eventually, I got to the point where I told my parents, and I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't easy. It still isn't easy. They don't approve of it. Sometimes I wish they would be those parents that say, I love my kid no matter what, but that's just not how it is. At least not for right now. I think I just have to focus on myself and take care of me first.